Hey, do you like life? Not anymore, you don't. Hey there, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Oldtaku New Tricks, where this Oldtaku here talks about the new anime that's coming down the pipeline. Now, I want to clarify one thing first. I feel like I need to talk about what exactly an Oldtaku is. An Oldtaku is not somebody who's old who likes anime. If that were the case, I'd be about 30 or 40 years older and I'd be yelling at you kids for not knowing what Tetsujin 28 is. No, Oldtaku is more of a it's a frame of mind, really. It's the realization that anime has passed you by and that it is no longer made for you. And it will happen to every anime fan at one point or another. Just given a long enough timeline, everyone will turn into an Oldtaku. But that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy anime these days. It just means that we have to look at anime through a more seasoned lens, a more mature lens.
Oh, did you want to touch my boobs?
Yeah, maturity. That's the word. So today's episode is going to be on Devilman Crybaby, a newish, as of 6 months ago, show on Netflix based on Go Nagai's Devilman. Now, I'm not interested in doing a plot synopsis with these videos. I just want to talk about whatever I want to talk about as it occurs to me, so I'm going to be bouncing from topic to topic in these videos. Also, I'm going to be front-loading this particular episode because most of what I want to say about Devilman Crybaby all revolves around the ending, and far be it for me to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. So if you just want my general thoughts on Devilman Crybaby, here they are. It's a hot mess. Anything more than that would be spoilers, so you've all been warned. Now, anyone who knows me probably wants me to compare Devilman Crybaby to, like, the original OVAs, and to me, that's sort of a non-issue, really. They basically tell the same story, albeit the OVA is a much more abbreviated and truncated version of Go Nagai's manga, but the two have very little in common by which they go about doing it. To me, Crybaby is more concerned with modernizing the story of Devilman than the OVA, even though the OVA was released like 15 years after the manga. And I feel that's where the series' biggest downfall lies, but that's me getting ahead of myself. But if there's like a gun to my head and I had to compare these two, I would say that the series is better on a moment-by-moment basis than the OVA. But that should come as no surprise since the series benefits from being a series, which means it has more room to breathe and actually tell its story over 10 episodes, instead of the OVAs too. And the fact that it actually has a proper ending should pretty much tell you everything you need to know. At least in theory that's true, but in practice, the show has a really bad habit of quickening the pace when it really shouldn't. It's like the anime can't wait to get to all the gory bits, so it just lead-foots it all the way there, instead of, like, letting the scenes play out at a natural pace. And because of this, the characters' dialogue really suffers a lot, because it feels like they're jumping ahead in the conversation like 5 topics at a time. It's just so jarring to hear them speak with each other.
I wouldn't want to run with the girls from our school.
Yeah, look at him. Why does he even bother? He's staying at Miki's place. Maybe he just wants to go home with her.
It's somewhat mitigated by the fact that the dub really has a lot of talent behind it, and I'll even say that one particular bit has probably the most impressive bit of voice work I've ever heard in a dub, or at least in a long, long time.
Someone please like me as I am and let me like myself, let me give a damn. This whole thing is terrifying, but you gotta know that I'm trying, and I ain't just living by not dying.
I mean, again, if we have to compare it to the OVA, there's just no comparison.
I couldn't stand not having a bath every day.
Let me know next time. I'll soap your tits for you. Whoa, hey!
Thankfully, by like the second act, the pace slows down and we can actually have a story, but that's where the biggest detriment to the story actually takes place. What with Crybaby's insistence on modernizing the story of Devilman. Like, the angle of updating the Devilman story to the 21st century comes with it the tired and worn-out device of the internet being a hive of scum and villainy, which leads to an even more tired and worn-out motif of, is man the real monster? Spoiler alert, we are. Pretty much everything the series does has a very on-the-nose feel to it, and I get why they wouldn't want to be too subtle. I mean, this is a series where a woman transforms into a yellow submarine demon whose tits bite the heads off burnt-out druggies. But that kind of shit is just violent spectacle, and that's impossible to play with any kind of subtlety. In fact, that's probably the strongest part of the show. The demon's designs and scenes are imaginatively realized, and coupled together with the show's very, very minimalistic and erratic line work, it creates this sort of intoxicated atmosphere that really works in the show's favor. Even when the show is just the characters living their everyday normal lives, the line work and muted flat color palette lends itself an air of unpredictability. Like, internally, we know that shit can go sideways at any moment, so there's never a moment of peace. But again, because the anime is so erratic, it doesn't have the ability to follow up on the character moments and motivations and motifs and themes that it brings up, especially in the third act. Like, what was up with Miko here having resentment to Miki for a good chunk of the series, only for her to just say, "I love you" in our friendship? Well, good thing she worked out all her feelings off screen, right? I mean, why in the world would they spend time having her frustrated with having the same name as Miki and feelings of inadequacy if it was all just gonna lead to, hey, we're cool, right? Yeah, why wouldn't we be? Yeah, right, right. Or how about the gay track star who just turned heel out of nowhere and cast his humanity aside, even though he seemed totally on board with helping out Akira and genuinely seemed like he wanted to hold on to his humanity?
Us devilmen won't be accepted by humans anyway, so I'll just become a demon.
That's also something that a human would do.
Again, it would have been nice to see this character come to that conclusion in a meaningful way, instead of just, you know, off screen. But the most costly dropped baton, get it, has to do with the two central characters, Akira and Ryo. Because even though the anime tries to set up their relationship as the central core of the conflict, literally having them butt heads and having a divide between them, again, on the nose, their relationship isn't the main conflict. It's Ryo's and God's relationship that is the crux of the conflict and plot. It's Ryo, reincarnated as Lucifer, who's slowly turning the gears to exact revenge on humanity and therefore spit in God's eye. So, in the face of all of this, does it really matter what humanity does? Does it matter that we are spiteful, quick to anger, and slow to rationalize? Does it matter that Akira tries to redeem humanity by literally striking a Jesus Christ pose and asking the crowd to throw stones at him? To me, no, because all of this conflict is predicated upon Lucifer hating God, and this is his only means of striking back. It's a means to an end, which renders the whole third act completely hollow for me. I suppose it wouldn't bother me so much if the series hadn't spent so much time trying to have a statement about mob mentality on the internet. Yeah, people equal shit online, but when we try to not be shit and love each other, we just become demon food anyway, so yay? Sure, Nagai is as nihilistic as they come in anime, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. If your point is pointlessness, find a better point. There is one part of the end that I really like, and that's at the very end where Lucifer realizes that his thirst to make God pay has cost Akira's life, and he finally realizes what he had now that it's gone, and I like to think that is God's true punishment for Lucifer. Yeah, basically it's a Cinderella song. Shit, wait, hold on. Let's see if anyone gets this one. Sorry, I couldn't resist. In the end, I don't suppose I want to take back any time I spent watching Crybaby. I guess I'm more frustrated by the fact that it had some good ideas and some moments of pretty good execution, but it's all muddled by its insistence on having this half-baked, nihilistic people equals shit message, and then cutting out the legs from under it in one fell swoop. Also, why in the world did we have to go meta?
Wait, Taco! I'm not done yet! Now he's Devil Cat! Devil Cat? He looks cute.
That was just stupid and unnecessary. But you know what? That's what I felt about watching Devilman Crybaby. I've certainly talked about it enough. What did you guys think about it?